this week, midday, to do a little hiking for that very reason. So if you're looking for me on Slack and you can't find me, that's probably where I'm at.
You got it. I'm all
don't
for it.
don't
Uh,
tell JC.
do the same thing. He loves this time of year.
I know, I know. All right, so look, we've talked about this on the morning show, and I've been talking about it in a lot of places. That um, me personally, as an options trader, I'm looking for delta neutral opportunities right now in this environment. The problem I'm having, and we talked about this, is that the setups that I'm finding have it's an either or situation. I'm finding stocks that are either in a great looking range, the perfect technical setup for selling a delta neutral credit spread,
Mhm.
or I'm finding stocks that have high implied volatility, which is the type of environment that I like to sell premium in. But I'm not finding too many candidates with both, which is what I really want. So that said, Straza, I'm hoping today on the Flow Show, some of the unusual options activity we're seeing might direct us down a path into maybe a directional bet that might have some good juice in it.
It's funny because we haven't been seeing much of that lately either, right? And that's why we've been selling premium. Directionally, a lot of these charts are simply challenged right now. And I was just talking to Alfonso before the show, as we go through this list every Monday morning, really over the weekend, and look for, trade ideas. Few and far between, my friend. First thing that stands out, if we take a quick look at the table, is again in red down here at the bottom. This is from last Thursday. More puts at the index level. So kind of a recurring theme, at least in the second half of this summer. They are shorting the Russell 2000 or buying puts rather out October 20th, 176 strike.
Okay, okay.
Hedging.
Do you feel like that's a hedge, or do you feel like that's somebody getting aggressive?
I feel like it's really hard to say. I think the time to get aggressive was when the Russell was testing those old highs weeks ago, right?
Yeah, my gut tells me it's a hedge. I feel like it's a little late for that trade right now if somebody was taking a bearish bet, right?
We've had four consecutive down weeks, right, for the Russell 2000. You're really going to come in and put a big short on it here? I don't know. That for sure,
Right.
Sean.
Like I just pulled up the IWM chart here on my screen,
Flip
Gene,
it
if you
to a
want to show
weekly.
that.
Can you flip it to a weekly easily?
Yeah, I can. Let's do that. Okay, here's a weekly chart.
There you go. I mean, let's stabilize here, right? Find a floor before you want to make a bullish bet. And then on the bearish side, four straight down weeks. I don't know, moving average here, kind of at the middle of the range.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like a spot to be aggressively bearish, and it's not like it's an individual stock where maybe somebody has some inside information, which of course never happens in the options market. Nobody trades on inside information. That's illegal, Straza. Um, but no, in the IWM, you don't have to deal with that. Yeah, it feels like a hedge. Feels like someone's just protecting a position here, protecting a long position, maybe part of a hedging strategy. I think it's a nothing burger. That's my take.
So one chart stood out. It's IonQ, computer hardware
Ooh,
name,
I'm in
mid
that one.
cap. We put a trade on it though. Here's the chart. Look, this is definitely a leader, not just, working its way up the right hand side of a base on absolute terms. But if you look in the lower pane here, it's also, printing a nice reversal pattern against the broader market. So the relative strength is also there. Something like this, you just kind of want to look for a level to define your risk at. If you look after this base kind of completed around, 860, 850 ish, got a little textbook retest. And this is a short term continuation pattern, forming right here. We didn't draw it out, but you could have easily bought the resolution in this. And then this is similar, right? You could draw this in a number of different ways, but since it's hit this 38% retracement, it's been, a little bit tight here, chopping sideways, digesting some of the gains from earlier in the year. I think 1550-ish is a good level for something like this. Resume its uptrend.
Well, it warms my heart that you're bullish on this stock now because I've been in this position. I've been in a trade in this for a while now. I'm long a January 1020 call spread that I think I paid like $2 for a while back. So it's actually getting close to my profit target. I'm trying to get out at $6. I think it's trading at like 5 right now. So it's getting close. So if you're telling me this thing's setting up to break out, well, that's going to play well on my current position.
Do you know when you got in? I wonder if you got into this after the original base breakout earlier this
If
year.
you don't mind me looking away here real quick, I can tell you.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
see.
interested.
IonQ, we got in on May 24th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that would be let's see,
You do.
where's that on the chart here? We got in following this breakout here. We bought this pullback. This is the day right here where
Yep.
we got in. So as you can
So
see, it's performed quite well for us. These are January options, so the thing had time to go. So I'm actually surprised it didn't hit my profit target when we ripped up higher here back in
me too.
early August. It got real close, but it never
Stock
triggered.
doubled. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's right now it's kind of sitting in a range. I mean, even if the thing went sideways from here, I'll get out at a profit. I'm sitting in profits in this spread. But
That was a great trade. It's nice when these base breakouts really work like that. I mean, you got a pretty nice leg higher almost right away.
yeah, they don't all work out that way, Straza, as you know. But it's nice when they do.
All right, so let's talk about another one that hasn't worked out. And I know, Sean, we were both active, myself and the analyst team through Common, and you through options probably late last year, earlier this year.
Ooh.
Like Pinterest was moving higher sooner than most of its peers. Remember, like this base started shaping up and looking nice like first couple months of the year, right? If you look back to like January, February, we were higher then than we are today, right? So we thought this was going to be like an early mover, like an Nvidia Meta type, breaking
Yeah.
out of that base before all of its peers. Kept just been failing. Every time it gets to this 29-30ish level, I don't know. I mean, we're a little bit early here again, but if it goes, continue to like it.
Well, this chart, the chart that you have up there, I mean, that looks to me just like Heartbreak City, right? Like every time you think that thing's gonna go, it immediately pulls back. But the good news, Straza, and I'm
Yeah.
not telling you anything you don't know, but on a chart like that has disappointed bulls so many times, it's one of those charts that just wears people out. And when this thing goes, I have a feeling that it'll really go because everyone's going to be caught off sides. Everyone's going to be thinking, "Oh, forget it. I'm going to sit this one out. I've been burned too many times." And that's when stocks surprise you.
Yeah, and also interesting here, selling November puts, not getting long calls, selling puts all the way out in November. And
Well, I mean that's a guy who's probably been burned so many times buying common or buying calls on every failed breakout. He's like, well, maybe selling puts is a little bit more conservative bullish play, and I could still make money even if I'm wrong on the direction.
I
What do you
kind of
think?
like it. I kind of like it. And I like what I like is, I mean, I like selling puts here rather than getting long the calls. And again, just to reiterate, if you look at both of these trends, right, the absolute trend up top and the relative trend down below, we have the breakout level drawn, with the gray rectangle. Neither of these have gone yet. Right? It's very anticipatory of us to talk about this chart here. But 29 is the level. We're less than 10% away. This could be a big mover if and when it does move. When was earnings? Do you have earnings on your chart marked up? I would have to switch over. Is earnings out of the way?
Let me
I don't.
see.
I don't. I don't see an earnings candle here, an obvious earnings candle, which a lot of times we get.
It looks like earnings is out of the way. Let me pull up this chart here. Yeah, we had earnings on August 1st, it looks like. So,
All right, great.
yeah, we don't need to worry about it. So, okay, you said there's someone selling puts in November. Is that what you said?
Yep. November 17th, the 26th strike.
26 strikes. So they're getting a buck 70 for them right in here. Buck 73, buck 72 for the 26 strike. I don't know. I mean, that's not the strike I would sell. If I was selling puts here, I'd probably want to sell the 25s. Let's see if there's any juice there. Yeah, I mean, 25s, you can get a buck 34 for them. That's more my speed, I think, because that's a very clear risk management level. That if we break below, what this August 16th, if we break below the August 16th low, that's a pretty good signal that this trade's probably not going to work on our time frame.
So why use the 25 puts though? I mean, you could still buy the 26 puts and theoretically stop yourself out of that level.
I just feel like the 26 are too close to the money, and that trade, if pins were to really fall apart here, now I'm not saying it's going to, but if it were to, and you always have to be thinking this way when you're holding naked risk, I feel like those 26 puts, the gamma in that will hurt me a lot quicker
Got it.
than the 25 strike. And even if we wanted to be more aggressive, we could sell the 25 puts, but use this low from last week as our stop loss, right? Like this
Even better.
Friday low feels to me like a pretty significant level.
Oh,
So
you
we
have the
could kind
earnings,
of jump ahead of it.
you had the earnings gap from the second quarter there.
This one here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a nice little vacuum there.
All right, so this is one to keep on the radar. You can also do it through long calls. You want to look at maybe let's look out about like 6 to 9 months, see what the calls look like.
All
Uh,
right. We could look in February, which would be about, what's that, 5 months?
yeah.
If we did like a 25 delta strike, which is what I usually like to buy, that's the 36 strike. Could get them for $1
Okay.
approximately. 36 feels far away, doesn't it?
No,
No?
really not. In a name like this, $7. If that base goes, we were just talking about IonQ. It doubled after it resolved higher from the base. This is a hot stock, Sean. This is social
That's
media.
true. That's true. And $1 isn't too much to pay for it. I mean, it's easy to manage your risk on a trade that costs $1.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't hate it. If I'm looking for a directional bet, which I'm not looking for directional bets right now, Straza, but if I were, I don't hate this. But here's the thing. If I were to do this, I definitely would want to go February, maybe even further out, only because we've had so many false breakouts in this name. I'm not saying the next breakout's going to be the one, but there will be one at some point. And because of all the people that have been just frustrated in this name over the last year, I feel like when the move happens, it could happen. And you're right, 36 probably would be very easy to attain if we break above 31 here.
Yeah, I think it would get there. And also, full disclosure, we know this because we track it with our Hot Corner product. Elliott Management is in this one. I think that's Paul Singer. Elliott Management, big activist fund. They've been building a position. I think it's already built. We haven't seen any new filings in a while, but since last year. So that's interesting too.
All right, well, look, here's the deal. Neither Straza or myself or JC are feeling like we want to get aggressive on any directional bets, whether long or short, in this market environment.
Wait, unless they're coal stocks. Unless
Oh, yeah.
come on.
Straz is very bullish on coal stocks. I'll pull up this CEIX chart for everybody. I mean, it's a beautiful chart. I mean, you're not lying. This is a beautiful looking chart. I feel like I'm late to the party on this one, though.
Sean, is this not a perfect example of the beach ball effect that us technicians love?
Yes, this thing has been held down for a while.
You watch the relative strength, right, during corrective phases. That's what we mean when we say beach ball effect, right? So the broader market's under pressure. CEIX is showing, considerable relative strength through it, more or less correcting through sideways price action rather than through downside like most stocks. Now, all of a sudden, market finds a floor, catches a nice bid past few days. CIX is ripping to new highs, breaking out of this little coil it was working
Well, I
on.
just put up a weekly chart, and the weekly chart looks even better. Wow, that's a that's a good looking chart.
All right, I'm glad we snuck this in there.
Yeah, I'm glad we snuck it in. All right, folks. So Straz and I, or at least me in particular, I'll speak for myself. I'm still looking for delta neutral trades, but we are starting to see some signs. We're starting to see some stocks that might be setting up that we're definitely going to keep on our radar if the market firms up here. CEIX is definitely one we want to keep on, as well as a bunch of other cold names. That Pinterest, boy, that thing's getting ready to catch a lot of people by surprise, I think. So those are names we're keeping our eyes on. No, we don't have an actual trade to give you today, but that's all right. We don't have to trade, Straza. That's the beauty of what we do. We don't have to trade.
It's good for us to come on and do this and say we want to do nothing every now and then, because that's just the reality of trading markets, right?
Got to keep it real, bro. Got to keep it real.
It's the right thing to do a lot of times.
Right. All right, folks. Well, this has been the Flow Show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back again next Monday, same time, same channel. And I have a feeling we'll have a good trade for you next week. I got a feeling something's about to come, man. September's right around the corner. Things get a little bit more active. We're going to have a fun fall.
I hope so, because it's been sleepy out here.
Right on. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week. Take care.